You ever feel like it's just too easy to get an answer for anything these days? Well, today we're diving into a huge modern challenge. How do we actually cultivate a thinking mind when easy answers are literally everywhere? And believe it or not, we're going to see how a little ancient wisdom might just hold the key to navigating this crazy new digital world of ours. So, the ideas we're digging into today come from an incredible article by Marynes Pereira. She's a specialist in neurobusiness, AI, and emotional intelligence. And she makes this powerful argument that, while our tools have completely changed, the fundamental challenge of learning and thinking for ourselves, that hasn't changed one bit. And really, it all boils down to this old proverb. Think about it. We have this vast, endless lake of knowledge right in front of us, but the choice to actually drink, to really engage and learn, that has always been on us. So let's set the scene. I want you to imagine you're back in ancient Athens. A guy with bare feet walks right up to you and asks a question so sharp, so piercing, it actually makes your brain hurt. That's Socrates, of course. And his whole goal wasn't to give you answers, but to force you to find your own. And this is where we see a really stark contrast. The ancient agora, it was a real physical place. It was messy, full of friction and debate. It's where ideas were born from actual effort. But today's digital agora, it's a virtual space with infinite knowledge where AI gives you the answer instantly. It feels like the struggle has just vanished. But has it really? And this right here is the central paradox of our time. We have more access to information than any other humans in history, this huge, bottomless lake of knowledge. And yet, our collective thirst, that real deep desire to do the hard work of learning, it feels like it's drying up, kind of numbed by all this comfort. Which brings us to what Pereira calls the modern comfort crisis. The very ease of our modern lives, all the stuff designed to help us, might actually be creating a totally new kind of weakness in our minds. This quote just frames the whole issue perfectly. We are absolutely living in the easy times that previous generations built. And if this cycle holds true, it suggests that these very comforts might be what's making our minds, weaker. And look, this isn't just some philosophical idea. This is straight-up neurobiology. Your brain is hardwired to save energy. So when technology does the thinking for us, when an algorithm filters our news, when GPS maps our route, when AI drafts our email, our brain basically says, okay, I don't need those cognitive muscles anymore. And just like any muscle you stop using, those neural connections literally atrophy and get pruned away. Just think about how exhaustion itself has changed. The physical fatigue of, say, a coal miner was brutal for sure, but it was followed by deep, restorative sleep. Our modern fatigue, though, it's this corrosive digital decision fatigue. It's fueled by the blue light from our screens that keeps us in a constant state of anxious alert, never letting our brains truly shut down and recover. Pereira argues that all of this has created what she calls the industry of fragility. It's a system that actually profits from us feeling weak and anxious. Think about it. The apps promising to fix your focus, the supplements that claim to cure burnout. Discomfort used to be a signal that you needed to grow. Now, it's treated like a medical problem to be solved with a quick purchase. Okay, so where does AI fit into all this? A lot of people fear it's just the next big thing in the industry of fragility, another tool designed to make us weaker. But the author has a really different take. The real question isn't about the tech itself. It's about the choice we make and how we decide to use it. And Pereira gives us this amazing metaphor. AI isn't the enemy, it's a cognitive exoskeleton. Think of it like that. An exoskeleton doesn't walk for you. It just amplifies the strength you already have. To use it right, you still need strong muscles underneath. And it's the exact same for AI and our mental muscles. So we really have two paths. On one side, you've got the reactive user, the servant, who just lets AI do all the thinking. That road leads straight to mental atrophy. But on the other side, you have the intentional user, the master. This person uses AI like a Socratic partner. They challenge it, they argue with it, they use it to amplify their own thinking. And that path leads to mastery. So how do we actually become masters instead of servants? Well, Pereira proposes a solution, a kind of training plan for what she calls athletes of the mind. It's the no brain, no gain code. This 4-step plan is basically our roadmap. First up, locus of control. This means really, truly believing you are the architect of your own destiny, not just a passenger along for the ride. Second, emotional intelligence. In a world of constant digital noise, being able to genuinely connect with people and manage your own reactions is a legitimate superpower. Third is antifragility. This is the idea that you don't just resist stress, you actually get stronger from it, like a muscle growing after a tough workout. And finally, AI mastery, commanding the tool to elevate your own thinking, making sure you're the one in control. Which, of course, brings us all the way back to our central metaphor. We've laid out the map to the lake. We know the water is good for us. So the final, crucial question is, why do so many of us resist taking a drink? Pereira points to three main reasons. First, there's the fear of effort. Real learning means you have to admit you don't know something, and that can feel vulnerable. Second is the comfort of illusion. We trick ourselves into believing that just scrolling through headlines is the same as having deep knowledge. And finally, there's voluntary servitude. Let's be honest, it's just plain easier to let an algorithm decide for us than to carry the weight of our own choices. So this message really isn't for everybody. It's a direct call to action for those who want to be athletes of the mind, for people who get that the short-term pain of mental discipline is so much less than the long-term pain of regret and atrophy. And this leaves us with a final Socratic question for you. The lake of knowledge is right there. Are you going to just wait around passively for the system to give you little sips here and there? Or are you going to make the conscious choice to run towards that lake yourself and do the real work to build a stronger mind? So today, we've explored these powerful ideas from Marynes Pereira, from the modern comfort crisis all the way to using AI as a cognitive exoskeleton. And the choice, as she makes crystal clear, is yours and yours alone. Will you let your mental muscles weaken, or will you choose the rewarding work of building a stronger mind? The guiding principle couldn't be simpler. No brain, no gain.